Okay, welcome back, fifth learners, to our English class. So, for this unit, still we are in nouns and we are in lesson number 3. And for this lesson, we will be tackled about the countable and uncountable nouns. Okay. Countable nouns, so these are the persons, animals, or things that we can count. Okay, they can be singular or plural. Again, so when we say countable nouns, so these are the person, animals, or things that we can count. They can be singular or plural form. And for uncountable nouns, so they are substance, concepts, etc. that we cannot divide into separate elements. So usually we treat them as uncountable nouns, as singular. So these are the things that we cannot count, we cannot separate. So they are uncountable nouns. Okay, let's start with countable nouns. Again, countable nouns, so these are nouns that you can count. Okay, countable nouns. Countable nouns can be singular or can be plural. Like for example, this is only one, right? So we can say banana, banana. This one, let's count 1, 2, 3. So there are 3 banana. So we can say bananas. Bananas. Okay. Countable nouns are things we can count. We can say 1 banana, 2 bananas, or 3 bananas. Okay, that is countable nouns. Okay, let's have an example. Okay, this one is only one, so we can say apple. For this, we have 1, 2, 3, so we can say apples. This one is only one, pineapple. This one is pineapples. Cucumber, cucumbers. Okay, sometimes we can just add s. Because last time we talked about singular and plural nouns, right? And how to make them plural. This one, strawberry. This one, strawberries. Okay, since this word ends with y, so we will change it into I and then we will add es. So grape, grapes. Now let's go to uncountable nouns. So these uncountable nouns, so these are the things that we cannot count. So example of uncountable nouns, so we have salad dressing. Can you count the salad dressing inside this jar? Of course you can't. Lettuce, the ham, the water, the milk. So these are some substances that you cannot count. Okay, in English, there are 3 articles, a, an, and the. So articles are used before nouns or noun equivalents. Okay, let's see on how we're gonna use these articles a, an, and the. So let's start with rule number 1. So indefinite article a and an. So a before a singular noun beginning with a consonant sound. Consonant sound. So these are the alphabet start with letter B, C, D. Okay, and so on. So again, you have to base it in the sound, not in the first letter of the word. Okay. Okay, and you have to use it before a singular noun beginning with a vowel sound. So what are the vowel sounds? The a, e, I, o, u. So those are the vowel sounds. Okay. Okay, Okay, how about countable nouns example? So let's have this one. So we have an owl. Owl. This owl start with a vowel sound, so we will be going to use the N. Okay, this one is table, so we will say a table. This one, what is this? Apple. Apple start with a sound, so we will say an apple. How about this one? Cat. So we'll say a cat. So this one, a boy, a boy. Okay, rule number 2. So, definite article the. So, definite article the, it is used before a noun to define it as something specific. Okay, we will be using the if you're referring to a thing that is very specific. So, before a singular or even a plural. Okay, either singular or plural. So use the article the when an adjective, praise, or clause describing the noun clarifies or restricts its identity. So when you are referring to a very specific one, so you will use the indefinite pronoun the. So like for example, boy sitting next to me raised his head. So of course you are referring to a boy, so you will say a boy. So instead of using that, so you will say the boy. Also that is used when it's in the beginning of the sentence. So like the boy sitting next to me raised his hand. Use the article the when the noun refers to something or someone that is unique. Okay, like for example, this one is 2003 federal budget. Okay, the 2000 federal budgets. Rule number 3, all things or things in general. Okay, use no article with plural nouns or any non-count nouns used to mean all or in general. So again, when you are using or when you are referring in general, so do not use the article, okay, with plural nouns or any non-count nouns when you are referring to the general. Like for example, this one, trees are beautiful in the fall. So you are referring to all trees in general. So that's why don't use an article. So all trees are beautiful in fall. So it means that all trees here is referring to all. He was asking for advice. He was asking for advice. So we did not use an advice because he was asking for advice in general. Okay, he was asking for advice in general. That's why we didn't use the article an. Next to that, I do not like coffee. I do not like coffee. So I do not like all coffee in general. So meaning that's why we do not use the article a, because you are referring to the coffee in general. All coffee, meaning all coffee, you don't like all the coffee. Okay, rule number 4, when indicating an unspecified limited amount of count or non-count noun, used some. Again, let's have this some. Again, when indicating an unspecified limited amount of a count or non-count noun, we will use some. Okay, let's have this one. You can say some apples, some girls, Okay, uncountable nouns. Some water, some bread, some milk. Okay, let's have to look at these examples. My cousin was seeking some advice from a counselor. Okay, we use some because we just need specific advice, okay, not general advice. So not advice in general or advice about everything, but a limited amount of advice. So it depends on the problem that you have. Next, I would love some coffee right now. So we use some because not coffee in general, but a limited amount of coffee. Okay, only specific amount of coffee. We might get rain tomorrow. Some rain would be good for the crops. Of course, because we used some here because it's a certain amount of rain as opposed to rain in general. So you are referring to a rain, but of course, a specific rain that will go to that crops you are referring to. That's why we used some. So we will have this one, countable or uncountable nouns. So we have bread, we have lemon, we have biscuits, we have dal, we have butter, we have sugar, we have orange, we have cheese, we have rice, we have car, we have orange, we have dog, and we have umbrella. So this time we have to choose the correct option. Okay, this one is bread. Bread. So how or what is the article that are we going to use? Is it a and some? Again, when we say a and, so this are you are referring to countable noun singular, right? And it depends on the beginning of the sounds of the word. So when we use a and an, so technically we will use some. Okay, we will use some. Very good. So we say some bread. Some bread. Okay, next is we have this one. This one is only one, right? So apple. Apple start with a vowel sound a. So we will use what? Okay, we will use and. Very good. An apple. Next is we have cheese. Okay, cheese. We cannot count the cheese. So it's an uncountable noun. So we will use some cheese. Very good. Some cheese. How about this one? Doll. Can we count this doll? Yes, of course. So we will say a or an. This is only one, right? So we will going to use either a or an, but the sound is start with a consonant. So doll. So we will use a doll. A doll. Okay, how about this one? Biscuits. Biscuits. So is it a, an, or some? Since this is many, or so we will use, okay, some. Some biscuits. Okay, about this one. Alright, it's some rice because you cannot count the rice. So we'll say some rice. Some rice. Some rice. But this one, how many cars are there? So only one. So again, we will think that it can be either a or an. Car start with the sound consonant. So it means we will going to use a. A car. How about this one? How many eggs are there? Only one, so we assume that it's either a or n. Egg start with the sound, vowel sound, e, egg. So we will be using the article an egg. But this one, juice, juice. So just can you count the juice? Yes or no? Of course you can't. So we assume now that we will be using some juice, some juice. Again, some juice. How about this one? Lemon. Lemon is only one, so and it starts with a consonant sound, so we will say a lemon. How about this one? Butter. Butter. Can you count the butter? Oh yeah, you can't. It's an countable noun, so we will use some. Some butter. Some butter. Okay, this one also is sugar. Some sugar. So we'll be using some because you cannot count the sugar, right? So some sugar. We have an orange. An orange. Since orange starts with the vowel sound, so we will use an orange. So this would be our worksheet for today. Okay, for number 1 to 10, all you have to do is fill in the blank with the word a and the. A and n is use of a singular noun, right? Singular countable noun. So when we say a, so we will use this one if the word start with a consonant sound and n when start with a vowel sound. The a, e, I, o, and u. And we use the when the thing is very specific. So for the part 2, you have to write a and some. A and some. Again, some, we use this one for the plural and countable noun. So I hope that after you finish answering, so you will submit it in our line group or you can send it to me personally. So I hope you enjoyed this class and I hope to see you next time.